Little early, but I will not be taking the hantavirus vaccine. Keep an eye out for that one. 'Cause that's what's going to come next. They're going to try to mandate that as well. Don't take it. I know I'm a little early, but I will not be taking the hantavirus vaccine. Keep an eye out for that one. 'Cause that's what's going to come next. They're going to try to mandate that as well. Don't take it.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. That Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Shalom, shalom. I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Kakadash. And I want to give I'm a brother in the park from Great Millstone, Tampa. I want to give double honor to elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and blessings to hopeful elect and the ones listening in. And I want to get into a quick lesson. And I want to title this lesson, The Script is Getting Old. All right, the script is getting old, okay? Because, it's just, it'll be somewhere along those lines, but I might add a little bit more to the title. But the script getting old, man. All right, we all see it. We all know what's coming next. Everyone knows what's coming next, and we already understand what Esau is doing, bro. So if you're aware of Esau's tactics, you know what he's going to come out with next every time. But it's starting to get old, man. Now it's starting to get a little played out. The same thing over again. It's just like, you don't got nothing new. It just shows you these devils. They don't have, they don't have how to say it, just for lack of words, these devils can't make up anything new, man. All right, they can't introduce us into a new chaotic event because they keep bringing up the same things, man. And it's always, going to end up with, people being in fear. And the best thing to get everyone in fear in the world is by bringing out, disease, virus. Okay? Bring out a virus, man. And that's what will gain the whole world's attention and make them fear because it spreads. Okay? And that's what these devils want to do is they want fear. And when people are in fear, they're a lot easier to control. All right? This is bring us back 2 Corinthians 2 and 11 in the NOT. It says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. So, hey, Satan not going to outsmart us. He can't outsmart us, man. The men of the Lord, brothers that's in the faith and the truth, that has the correct understanding, the guidance, the wisdom and understanding. These devils can't outsmart us, man. He outsmarting everybody else, but he can't outsmart us because we're familiar with his evil schemes. This is a familiar plot that this man is bringing up all over again. All right? And it may not feel familiar to others, and I won't say feel because it definitely going to feel familiar, but they're not going to catch on or see it as, they just bringing the whole 2020 incident back up, just bringing our whole thing back up. It's all just repeated cycle of these devils keep bringing out new lab invented experiments and testing it on the world, all right, in order to bring that order out of chaos, all right? So we're too familiar with it now where we just like, okay, all right, devil, we know where you're going with this, but are you going to bring it for real? Are you just going to sit there and you're going to, cower it out like always, but it's all on the Lord's timing, man, and it's all on the Lord's, according to how the Lord wanted it to be, okay? So just, with time, you will see how, this may die down or it may get worse, depending how the fear and the reaction and how everything goes with this hantavirus, it either may die down or it may get even worse, and back on lockdown and all these different things, so these devils can do what they want to do again. All right, but we already know. We already see it. We already see the crafty counsel that they put in to bring this out again. The whole, well, they're on the ship and now they're coming to America and they're docking, and man, it's the same thing. All right, it's the same thing. So, hey, man, bring it. You saw. That's all we can really say is just bring it, man. We know what you're doing. We see it. We got eyes. All right. The scripture says the simple pass on. So the simple, they look at it and they just keep going about their day, and they don't really think too much of, damn, this is familiar. Like, at this point, they're just, bringing it, inventing these things, bro, and just coming up with a good storyline to back it up, you know? So that's when you gotta really think, like, bro, what, what, what else do they have? All right. What else can they come out with? Like, damn, bro, like, this is getting a little too obvious now, man. All right. It's too obvious, man. It says, Psalms chapter 81 and verse 3. I want to get this in NLT. Just to get straight to the point. It says, they devise crafty schemes against your people. They conspire against your precious ones. And that's what, Esau does in behind closed doors, is they're devising crafty schemes against really Israel. All right. Now, this may be a worldwide thing that they try to bring out, but ultimately it's just to keep Israel under subjection, and so they can stay in power forever. All this is all to bring, total, rulership onto them, so they can trip everyone, and next thing you know, everyone is under their subjection. All right, so they can continue to rule, and Israel can continue to stay as servants. All right, so there's all just schemes, that they conspire and devise, against the Lord's precious ones, the Lord's people, Israel, and even, you get even narrower than that, really the elect, the man of the Lord, the woman and child, all right, that believe on the Lord. This is all for them, all right, that these devils are doing it for, in order to, destroy the Lord's people, all right. So we see it, we understand what they're trying to do every time, bro. Everything that they come out with, all right, lockdowns, damn face mask all over again. Man, we know where this is all leading to, and it's all going, bro. So we can't be fooled now, man. It's just like, all right, you may get the rest of these niggas, but you can't get us. We already understand your whole game, your whole blueprint, your whole thought out plan, because ultimately the Lord has given us that understanding to do that. All right, it's not of our own selves, it's really of the Lord. The Lord, like, okay, everybody else is in this delusion where they believe everything these devils tell them. All right, where they just go after everything, the news and the articles, and you got to stay in the house 6 feet away. They have that delusion over them. All right, because Esau's, physical demon, all right, Satan himself, has blinded the minds, all right, of the mass of people, all right, to where they're living in this delusion, continuously believing into these articles and news and everything, bro. They're not actually taking the time to research and study what's actually going on, to look into it. Like, man, these niggas really just, this is for real, these niggas just telling me something to get they agenda across. Okay? They don't got that, bro, but the Lord has given us that awakening to where we can see now. We can hear now. We can, examine the words that come out of these devils' mouths and understand, okay, this nigga is, he didn't conspire something up again, he didn't plotted something out again, so now we just like, okay, bring it on, devil. We know what it is, we know what you're trying to do, just go ahead, bro. Nobody's stopping you. All right, because ultimately what they're doing is, all for prophecy's sake. So the Lord is allowing them to do this to ultimately destroy their own kingdom. All right, so we can go and we be in rulership. So I want to get at this as well. Real quick, I believe it's. I'm gonna just narrow this down a little bit. Yep. This is Proverbs 29, verse 25. It says, "The fear of man bringeth a snare." All right, and that's what Esau's trying to go by, is the fear of the mass, all right, of the world, to have fear. And this is what's going to bring his trap. That's how he's going to put his trap in, to trap everybody, except for the elect, except for the man, woman, and child that believe on the Lord Yahweh Shai. But he's going to trap everyone else. And that, fear tactic that he's using, it's all just a trap. All right, everybody's scared. Everybody making videos. Oh, don't let them come over to America. Don't let them dock over here, and the ship to come over here to America. And guess what? They're doing it. It's all happened. It all happened before. Nothing new under the sun. All right, nothing's new under the sun. So, round 2, 3, 4. So. It says, "But whosoever putteth his trust in the Lord shall be saved." So that's why we not too worried. That's why we like, man, what these devils doing. We're not worried at all, honestly. I said too worried, but no, we're not worried at all. Okay? We ain't worried about what these devils got up their sleeve, because everything they got up their sleeve ain't nothing but fulfilling what the Lord has already prophesied and set, in not only in word, but in paper as well, in scripture as well. So we put our trust in the Lord. So, we know we safe. We good, man. The rest of you niggas, you might be cooked because you have this fear in Esau and this devil. All right. It says in the NLT, "Fearing people is a dangerous trap, but trusting the Lord means safety." So, having fear in people, that's a dangerous trap, man. It's dangerous for you. Okay, you gotta ultimately have faith, trusting the Lord Yahweh Shai, and that's what we're doing. That's having that faith and trusting in the Lord Yahweh Shai. So by trusting the Lord, that means we got safety, bro. We're under that safe hedge, man. The rest of you niggas cook, bro. All right, so. I just really wanted to get into that, quick lesson. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Once again, the honest, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who teach you well. Peace and blessings to